All right, we're gonna start something pretty cool this week. We're gonna do a mega batch. What is that? 6, 12, 18, 24 pounds of rocks and start at stage 1. And we'll do all 4 tumblers all at the same stage. So let's get started. We'll see if we can haul this big old, oh man, this big old bucket of stuff up on the bench. See, you can even get physical activity in from this kind of thing. We'll pick out some ones that we think we want to polish. And this time, we're going to put the saw rocks in with the normal rocks so that the saw rocks don't stay all jumbled up like they did the last time we tried. Even though they've turned out pretty well. But let's just see what we've got to work with here. Pull out a few saw rocks first. This one right here I'm really excited for. I think it's going to turn out really, really neat. Along with this one too. I cut a couple of slabs off of this rock, so it'll be interesting to see how this one turns out, but it's good and chunky. Let's see if we can grab another tote. That one is so much lighter. Let's see what we got in here. Throw a few smaller ones in. All right. That's a pretty good pile. Let's see if we can get those in some barrels. Hopefully we've got enough of this stuff to be able to make all of these barrels work. I've got more than I do just in this little thing, but we'll see. Let's go down the line. All right, we got just a little bit left in the corner. We'll get these machines lubed up and get these barrels put on there. All right, all 4 tumblers are full. We do have a 5th one. I actually got a new one. It's up in that box right there. But we're gonna save that for something special that's gonna come up later on. So stay tuned for that, but we'll come back next week and check out what we've got. I'm pretty excited. This is going to be a big batch, so lots of cool stuff going on. Stay tuned. And we're back after stage 1 of our mega batch. So far they're looking really nice. Pretty happy with how they've turned out. From what I could see right off the bat, it looks like there's a good mix of big ones and small ones and round ones and flat ones, or slabs we cut off from a saw. And I know it's not like a real mega batch. We've got 3 times 8, so 24 pounds. So probably closer to like probably 18 pounds when you include the weight of the drums, the grit, and the water. And if I had a 50-pound tumbler, you know, there'd be twice as many rocks here, but for me, it's a mega batch, and for the setup that I got going on, for now, it's a mega batch. And I haven't tumbled this many rocks at a time on just one stage, so I'm excited to see how it turns out. And I think what we're gonna do, especially for these earlier stages, is not look at quite all of them, but there are a few that I want to look at, mostly the ones that I cut, just to see how they kind of ended up, and maybe one of these bigger ones just as kind of a good reference point for some of these bigger slabs. We'll start out with these two here. This was I don't know what kind of agate it is, or if it's just a normal one, but this is an agate that I got from a friend of my grandpa's. He brought it back from Arizona, so I got a couple of nice lengthwise chunks off of this edge. Another, well, maybe it was this edge. Another kind of cool looking chunk off of the other edge, and then this big chunk that I cut to be able to stand on its own. The same thing with this one. And so far, looking at them, both have got a nice even polish all the way around. I don't see too much breakage. There were a couple of pieces left in the strainer after I washed these off, but yeah, maybe a chunk taken out right here. Thankfully this is a bigger rock. It looks like we got a crack here too. Hopefully that'll hold on. Usually after stage 3, even after stage 2, they seem to stay intact a little bit better. This one so far is looking good. I actually drill press polished a chunk off of both of these rocks. And it must have been this side. The chunk that I cut off of this side, the little kind of yellow at the top, really actually turned out looking really cool. So we'll hopefully see how that turns out. Looks like there's a little rock in there. That's still there. By the end of the next stage, we might see if we can't flick that thing out of there. But there's a little bit of crystal in there too. I don't know if, we'll see if it'll catch the light. Oh, just a little bit. Right in here too, in that pocket. Neat. I didn't notice that before. Down here too. Huh. So hopefully after this gets polished more, those will pop out. This is some petrified wood. I think it's got the black on it like a lot of the petrified woods do after you cut them. I thought I had a chunk of it over here. Oh yeah, right here. All this black in the middle. I think it's petrified wood. I don't know. Either way, it'll probably end up looking pretty cool, and we'll be able to tell more about it once it gets nice and polished. It looks like it might have a spot here that might flake off, and right here too. But it looks good so far. And this is most definitely petrified wood. I cut some of this into slabs, and I think I cut another chunk of this off that I'm tumble polishing as well. So hopefully that one will be done soon, and we can compare when they're done with all together. This one I did cut just on this side, I think, just to kind of even it out and have more, I guess, polishable surface area. Looks like there's some junk in there too. Hopefully that'll come out. Sometimes when you get stuff stuck in these little pockets right on the edge of the rock, if you go and try and pry that out, it'll break a chunk of this off. And I would like to not do that, because this is a pretty neat looking rock. It's got a big crack in it. Right through there. All along that side. Kind of a chip taken out there. And then you can almost see it. You can see it stop right here at the kind of the bottom of that little Y right there with all that iron coloring in it. And a few flakes on the edges here that look like they might come off. But again, another pretty big chunk. So hopefully it doesn't lose too much mass. Let's see if we can hold this up into the light. It's about 2:15 in the afternoon, and it looks like it's 5 o'clock already. We're definitely into that time of the year where it's just not very nice out for very long, unfortunately. But got another cool chunk here. This one, I can't remember if I just cut this one in half. I think I got a slab out of the middle of this. I'm not 100%. Don't recall. But this side, the uncut side, I think will polish up really nicely. Even around the edges, there's a little crystal in that nub right there. And obviously, for sure, this cut side is going to turn out really nice. It looks like there's a little agate vein right running through the middle of that. I think, oh yeah, you can see it on this side too. Here's another nice slab. This one, you can see that big chunk right there. That's a saw blade gouge. I unfortunately gouged this piece pretty good. I did get another slab about the same size that I polished with the drill press, and it turned out looking really cool. So, like I've said before, when these are all done with, we will compare and contrast the two. But that's the reason right there, that big gouge, that I decided to tumble polish these, because with the little 4-inch sanding pads, that'll eat one up super quick, and you'd have to spend a lot of time on it. So plus it's just good to see what options are out there, see what you can do with stuff. And that's kind of what we're trying to do here, just figuring stuff out and having fun along the way. Thankfully, that mistake I don't think will be too detrimental to the end result. And here's another slab. This one I only cut on one side. I got, I think, 2 really nice slabs out of the middle of this rock, and it was, I mean, you could see all the druzy on the outside on this edge, but you know, the rest of it kind of just looked plain and boring like this. There were some spots you can kind of see on the edge that had a little bit of translucence to them. Kind of in the middle too, you can see it just a little bit, but the drill press polish worked really well. The only thing I'm worried about is a lot of this stuff here cracking off, because when I drill press polished the other chunk, you had to be really careful, especially along the edge. So this portion of that rock, which actually was bigger, didn't get hit with the polish quite as much, just because it was shooting chunks off left and right. So hopefully this one will stay intact. Here's another big one with some nice iron speckling in it. Nice big crack right here in the middle. Going up and around, it looks like it stops right about there. So hopefully it stays intact, but if not, it's big enough to where we'll have 2 cool chunks instead of just one big one. And the rest of the surface has a lot of dimples on it, but there should be enough surface area to catch a nice polish to where it'll make it all look really nice. And here's the last one that we'll take a closer look at today. I don't know what you would call this, but here's another one again, and it's already gotten smoothed out pretty good, but there's a decent saw gauge right there, kind of by my thumbnail. And it's actually been smoothed out quite a bit more than the one on this one. We'll have to see how that goes. And I did get, I think I got 1 or 2 more slabs out of this rock, close to this size, that I have not drill press polished, but I intend to at some point. But they're looking pretty good. As for the rest of these, looking pretty decent. Another nice chunk there. Oh, here's another part of that, of this one here. Another petrified wood there. One with a big hole in it there. Another kind of slab or tower type thing. Cut it a little bit fatter and cut the end off so it would stand up. It's looking good. Some more cut pieces. This one, this one's actually pretty cool if you can see it. It's got a neat pattern in the middle of it, and I did drill press polish another one of these too, and it turned out pretty well. So, and like I said, as we go through the stages, I think we'll probably do a little bit better of a highlight on some of these, and I'll try and do a little bit better this time of tracking which ones we've already looked at, and remembering all the little details about some of them. Sometimes that stuff just gets lost. It goes away after even just a week's time, but we'll go through some of these a little bit more in depth when we come back. And again, I know it's not an actual mega batch, but this is pretty cool. Something I haven't done volume wise yet. So pretty excited to see what's gonna happen, and we'll get them thrown back in their barrels with some water and some grit, and we'll check in next week, see what they look like.